Well, can you believe it? Last week was Christelle's chance to be on Talking Technical, and for me this week again. Thank you so much for watching the show. And yes, we've got nice requests and plenty requests. And remember, this is a service for the public, so you can always tweet us or WhatsApp us or even drop us an email if you want a specific request. Yes, we do have readers, but we also like to share some of our, let's say, knowledge that we've built up over the years with the general public. And that's why all the show is about, and that is Talking Technical. And I want to speak to Jenny about Capitec, because I dropped a tweet earlier this week and I said, listen, can you believe it? We may be seeing a gravestone doji, and then eventually this gravestone doji, that one there, turned out to like almost what you can say a shooting star or a spinning top. For me, it's more of a shooting star at that point in time, because the upper shadow was a little bit high up. There was a tiny lower shadow out there. But even the previous day, there was a tiny candle here that I thought was maybe it's going to be a hanging man. Can you hear that I used the names maybe, and it looked like this, and it was that, and it did not confirm, because that was my answer, Jenny. The big thing with any candle, if you see a candle on a chart, like here, somebody will say, yes, Frans, I saw a dragonfly doji. That means that there were some guys nibbling on the chart. And then when was this candle actually confirmed that it's a true or a proper candle? The day when we saw this beautiful bullish engulfing candle, and then it pushed up. So you always wait a day or two for the confirmation. And when you get the confirmation, then you know at that day when you saw the candle that the informed capital was quite serious in their thinking. Now let's just have a look here. Even if you look at this possible hanging man, there's at this point no confirmation that this was a hanging man, because this share actually pushed higher. What we do see now is the day after that, we saw this candle with a nice longer up shadow to the top. And what happened? We saw almost another hanging man. But what we did see here, and that was on Tuesday, we saw this beautiful candle where it was strong in the morning and lost momentum. And this is the clue for me, that higher upper shadow and even this higher upper shadow. That tells me there is some sellers. The moment the market pushed the share higher above that 1,650 level, some guys are keen to lock in profit in strength. And then suddenly you will talk not about the individual candles that will tell you a story. Suddenly you will say, listen, I probably see maybe a possible tweezer. Yeah, that's important. But when will this tweezer will be confirmed? That is now the issue. So Jenny, never fall into the by saying, listen, this and that will happen. Rather wait for confirmation. And then I will say, this is a tweezer top developing only below the low of this candle. In actual fact, I will prefer actually that low, because why? That was the higher upper shadow there, and only below that candle, and that will be, let's just get that level for you, below 1,610. That low, I will say that this possible tweezer can come into play. And the reason why I'm doing that is the following. Remember, technical analysis is not an exact science. And people sometimes fall into the trap that say that must be the holy grail. It's the same with fundamentals. You don't need to read the fundamentals and say this is exactly, and it's going to happen like this because this and that and the other. Because fundamentals can also turn out to be a little bit skew in a month or two, or maybe an idea. Well, that is the story of Capitec. So always remember that candles needs to be followed up by proper candles telling you a correct story. Well, let's have a look at Peter's request. Peter looked at Anglo American. And Anglo American, let's just have a look here. I just want to see. Here you are. That's the old stalwart Anglo American. There you are. A strong player in the commodity field. But what do we see here? Look at this beautiful rally. I mean, it had a beautiful rally from February, just from February, from 484 Rand to 700 Rand. What I don't like about it, and you see there was a teardrop candle or a shooting star. Now, for me, this was a shooting star because since then it actually lost momentum. And look at all these upper shadows. There's one, there's another one, there's another one, all telling us that people are selling into strength. And for me, we're at a crucial point here. And there you are, Peter. We must look at this level. And then you will see the following. We're on a very important support here. And that support is sitting at 604.48. If this support gives, we can easily see Anglo American go even lower to this level of 546. So what happened was we had a beautiful rally, one after the other, following each other. And then we had this tiny lampole formation. It actually developed here already. There was a tiny pullback. I've got an idea that we may be sitting in the making of a possible head and shoulder formation here. Why do I say that? There's the left shoulder. There's the head. And we'll probably go up again and form this right shoulder. But what's important here, and you maybe see here, that there's a tiny little gap there. Let's just have a look at that gap. That gap is sitting between 646.66 and the low of that candle is 656.41. While this gap is open, the momentum is down. So sometimes what you see with a possible head and shoulder formation is that you will see that it goes up, it tries to close this gap, but it cannot go up, and then you break below this line, and that is that level of 604.48 that I gave on earlier, and then it can go all the way down to reach its target. And always keep in mind, and I just used Capitec as an example a few minutes earlier. If you look at any share, and I always try to teach our readers the following. I say, if you buy and if you are happy, don't go in full blown. Because sometimes the candles can be wrong for a day or two, or maybe it puts you on the wrong path, and then only the true proper insider guys that knows what they want to do with the stock come in and do what you think. So if you buy this head and shoulder and you're not 100% sure and you're not keen on going to big, and that's always the thing, never be keen to go to big. And then if it breaks, then you make your money. But if you go to big, it forces you to take a stop loss, and then eventually just break your morale, and even it will make you negative towards technical analysis. I had an interview the other day with a guy from Village Trader, beautiful chap. We had almost an hour and a half chat on my trading career and what I did in life, and it was always the thing of taking the easy money. Take a position and take the money when it's off the table. And that's important here. Even with Anglo American, Peter, I will be nervous about this, so be careful to look at that. Richard asked about Sanlam. Let's have a look at Sanlam. It's one of those big, wonderful companies on the stock exchange with plenty of cash, and they always benefit when the markets are strong and everything goes okay. Let's just pull it in there. Oops, where's my chart? Here you are. And if you look at Sanlam here, this is a daily chart. And some of the financials, strangely enough, has the same sort of formation going. I had someone drop me an email the other day saying, Frans, your level on Standard Bank, is that still possible? And I said, yes, it is still possible, because there's a possible head and shoulder on the chart. Now, the same with Sanlam. Let's have a look here. I just want to draw in that neckline. Yeah. There's the left shoulder. There's the head. And there we're forming the right shoulder. And we just showed Anglo American. Now look what happened here. There was also a gap. Sanlam managed to close this gap. So for me, Richard, I'll be nervous because we're moving to this neckline. This neckline sits at 55 Rand 44 cents, and if that turns into a resistance, and the chart's starting to show that it wants to go down and the formation wants to play out, look what happened. We can see this beautiful strong company all the way down this support of 50.31. And by the way, where do I get this projection? It's the neckline the top of the head, from the neckline, projected downwards, that's my target. And remember always, we all sometimes get exact targets where we close onto the cent. Like someone the other day tweeted, thank you for our idea on Old Mutual. It closed exactly at the point. Yes, that can happen. Sometimes it does not happen. It gets close to that level. Just watch out for it. Well, there you are, Sanlam. And if you want to short it, I will not short Sanlam. They've got too much cash for me, and they can make all new plans. If I do want to short it, I will rather sell it below that neckline and sits on the sidelines. But if you want the stop loss will be 60 Rand and 14 cents. Because that is the stop loss. And where do I get the stop loss? By the way, that's the of the right shoulder. It looks like this is a session where we actually teach more than what we look at the charts. So let's see if we can quickly run into Supergroup and see if we can quickly do that. Supergroup. And Mateko asked about Supergroup, and he said to me, Frans, it looks like I can buy the share, Supergroup. Let's have a look here. Well, Mateko, I'm a little bit nervous on Supergroup because it looks like a double top is forming. And where will the chart start to warn me? There you are, below that line there. I will not buy it, Mateko. I'll be careful about this. Only above 31 Rand, the double top will be wiped off the table. But unfortunately, about 27.72, it can play out and take it down to 25.39. So what I will do, Mateko, I will probably wait for this double top to play out before I will get into the stock. Unless you want to chase the momentum, chase it above 31, use the stop loss of 27.72. Well, thank you so much for watching the show. Visit our website, www.fransdeclerc.com for more info, and we will chat again.